Alex.
Cam.
Alexa.
Fitz.
Matt.
Fitz.
Swag.
Fitz.
Cameron.
Yep.
Here we are, in the bush.
It's nice.
It's nice. It's a nice day.
Yeah.
Beautiful day.
We've been trekking around. We've been spotting wildlife.
We have
We've been getting bit.
a lot.
We've been having fun.
A lot of fun. Too much fun.
Same.
So,
Spending time with friends outdoors. What could be better?
Spending time indoors.
Spending time indoors. You like that bit?
Aussies, yeah.
You're a gamer, Matt.
how can you complain when we got kangaroos behind us like this?
I can pull up kangaroos on my phone.
Yes, true.
I think it's hard to talk about having a good time because you look at them, they look like they're having a much better time than we are.
Lying down,
Yeah.
not having to do a conversation on camera.
Yeah.
How you boys doing?
Good.
Yeah. Real nice.
Great.
It's good to be chatting to some Australian YouTubers.
Yeah.
And thank you for dressing us up like we're actually Australian YouTubers. This is.
Do you usually dress?
I mean, it's
dress
weird
your
that you're
guests?
pinning that on us when you packed that clothes and you asked us if it was okay to wear it,
No.
and we said it was fine.
Did not say that.
And
think
then
that's-
while setting up the podcast, you kept going, are you sure that we look okay? Like, is this...
Which camera do I have to look at to make a very
Don't look at
intense? Oh, okay. I wanted to tell them so they know that they're lying.
Only tell the middle one.
They're lying.
They're lying, yeah. You asked our shoe size,
Yep.
our belt size,
Yeah.
our cock size,
Yep.
all of it.
We had to make sure everything worked.
Yeah.
Everything
And it does. It fits great.
Mine doesn't work.
You
but-
guys look great.
Thank you, thank you.
We're so happy to have you here. Obviously, you are responsible for the abomination that is the I Did a Thing channel.
Yep, thank you, thank you.
You were the chairman of the Boy Boy channel.
Thank you. I'm glad mine wasn't an abomination. That's really nice.
Yeah, why is
so
that?
nice.
That's not fair.
No, it's just a better channel.
Sometimes
it's fair.
That is true.
Sometimes I just get mean on a whim. It entertains me.
Okay, it's going to be targeted just towards me. I have a,
What's
have
that?
a feeling.
What's that channel you guys do?
What was that? Misfits?
Misfits.
Yeah,
Misfits.
Oh yeah.
I've been having
Because
a
of fits and then the.
That's what everyone says, but I actually didn't come up with a name.
Who came up?
Everyone thinks I'm just some kind of egomaniac.
Come on,
Had to
was it
insert my
Mason?
name.
It was Zuckles. Zuckles came up
It
with
was
this.
Mason, and I remember specifically being like, I don't really think we should go that way. People are going to think like it's a me thing. And everyone's like, well, it's the best name we can think of. And I was like,
At least it doesn't have. Yours is fits with a Z.
Yeah.
If it had the Z, then it would be. You'd be a narcissist.
that's true.
This is.
I think that was the original idea by Mason. Have this.
Yeah, Mason wanted
Mason
it.
wanted the
Oh
Z.
no.
Oh, that's crazy.
Then you would avoid copyright as well from getting
From the punk band.
from the
Well, the punk band did have some problems with it.
Yeah.
Really?
They did. In the early days, yeah. They didn't appreciate it
They wouldn't let us make merchandise with Misfits.
with Misfits on it.
And you wouldn't let you use their faces and
No,
like,
it's where they wouldn't let us play their music.
Oh, this is contraband though. It's like the original.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway,
anything else we're going to you guys about?
so let's talk about your YouTube channels a little bit. Alex, you are famous for making things
Yeah. I'd say
And
I'm-
doing them.
and doing
for
it too.
doing things. Yeah.
Contraptions,
Yeah.
inventions,
Yeah, contraptions, devices, gizmos, and gadgets.
mechanisms,
Bit of animal torture mixed in there as well. When I can. When I
Don't
get away
exploit
with
the
it.
animals.
controversial gun opinions.
Yep. Yep. Ooh. Don't mention those.
Not controversial in Australia.
No, just to Americans that love killing school children.
Yeah.
That's the part that's controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you start doing this?
Well, I think since I was a kid, I was always kind of just fucking things up. Like I would just, whenever we would get appliances or things, I'd always be like, oh, I want to open that up and take a look inside. I didn't really know what I was doing or how it worked, but I just pulled it apart. And then I continued to do that until I was like 18. I progressed into exploding things. So at school, I was always the guy that brought in, I was like, oh, we can thermite the school locks closed. And we tried that.
You tried that.
We tried that.
How far did you get?
It didn't like weld them together. It just melted through them, and then like.
That's
I think-
that's thermite. It's stunk.
But I think we did that. It was a primary school as well, because our school was connected to a primary school.
You were in high school when you did this?
Yeah, high
Yeah.
school.
And you did that to like the little kids' school.
It sounds like a bad idea now, but at the time it was a great idea.
It made
So,
sense. It made sense temporarily.
So you were attempting to weld the locks so they wouldn't open anymore.
I don't know the logic. I don't know what I
Were
was
you trying to
do.
break
He was
into
trying to keep the
primary
kids
school?
safe.
Yeah, we're trying to
once
keep-
they leave those gates, they're easy pickings. They're so small.
Yeah. Alexa was involved in this
Yeah.
as well. It's great.
Did you guys?
In the keeping the kids safe bit. not
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
How did you two meet?
Yeah, was it primary school or high school?
It was high
High
school.
school.
Okay.
Yeah.
We hated each other.
Yeah, I used to bully
Really?
him.
I
Yeah.
didn't actually realize you went back to high school.
Who bullied who?
I bullied him.
He bullied me.
What'd you bully him about?
He didn't have any friends. He was.
Did you pick on his appearance?
No, that's more of a now thing. He used to be a lot hotter.
Oh,
Yeah, he's disgusting now.
Yeah.
old habits die
It's
hard.
all downhill.
So you saw him with no friends, and you thought, oh, instead of giving him some friends, let's just keep it how it is.
Yeah, pretty much. It only really changed when he became a big YouTuber, and I was like, I could milk this ugly lonely man by pretending to be his friend, hanging out with him, and it's paid dividends. It's done so well.
It's very
I wouldn't be here
cool.
talking to you guys if I didn't pretend to hang out with this guy.
You got to stop. Reminds me though.
You're gonna reveal to the government what our deal
Oh,
is?
no. Cut that out.
Okay.
Cut that out.
We'll just bleep it. We'll just bleep it.
Yeah.
What bleep? You gotta stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Am I a prostitute?
We'll bleep the whole sentence.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have some kind of sexual arrangement.
Yeah. Yes, I think those blowjobs.
Yes.
Are you like married for tax reasons?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We tried, but
Oh,
What a
that's
treat.
right. Well, you guys, the Boy channel did the going to Disneyland to become homosexuals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It only partially worked.
You didn't feel the spark?
it
Not
made
fully.
me straighter than ever, I think.
No,
can't force
it
it.
made me a little bit gayer. Maybe because you had to kiss me, but I got to kiss him, and that was pretty good. Like,
Kinda
you've got
rich.
really soft lips.
I think the
Right.
problem is the moustache hair.
Yeah.
I mean, the lips were nice. I was like, yeah, I can get around this. But then the hair, little tickling of the tongue and the...
It's a bit different. There's no pretending it's a woman.
No,
No,
you can't.
no.
You can't.
Here's one.
Unless like a really hairy woman, or like a female gorilla.
Oh, I would kiss a female gorilla, I think.
Is it less gay to kiss a female gorilla?
Yeah, dude. It's
I think a female gorilla is a very
Compare-
masculine animal.
comparatively, it's comparatively straight.
Yeah, you have to be the manliest man. What do you gotta have to catch the gorilla and then hold it down and...
Or would you be the manliest man to fuck a male gorilla?
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
manly.
Well, I have a friend who always
No, you
said...
don't. I thought you had a gorilla story. I'm like, you do not have a gorilla story.
No, I've got a gay story.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
cool.
want to say. So I have a friend, and his theory was like that straight men are actually more gay because they like little feminine women. And he was like, "There's nothing straight than having sex with a man. It's like you're a big manly man."
There's some hoops being jumped through in this conversation.
I mean,
Is he a manly gay dude?
he wasn't gay, so
Oh.
he just came up with this idea.
Oh.
Maybe that's his rationale for jacking off to gay porn.
So straight.
So straight.
Straight. Look at this manly man.
I could take any of these guys.
So when did you guys start your channels together? Which one came first, Boy or I Did It?
Boy
Boy
came
Boy.
first. The less popular one was the first attempt.
So it actually started with North Korea because me and Alex were quite fascinated with it, and we just arranged to go not for a video but just for tourism.
Yeah, just to like sympathize with the North Korean
Help
guy.
them out in any way we can.
Yeah, help
Just,
Kim. Help Kim
yeah.
out.
Just to help out Kim.
not the people.
Not even his sexy sister.
oh.
I mean, we didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
to be fair, she only got big on the news with the Seoul Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
Before
Well, that was,
I didn't-
and when Kim had that shit with his ankle or whatever, and he was like, people were saying he was like in a coma,
Yep.
and they were like, oh, well, if he dies, who's going to be the next person? Bam, super sexy,
woman
hot
in
Asian
Korea.
lady.
Yep.
And she's going to be a menace, dude. She's going to be the one to put her finger on the button.
But at least she's hot.
yeah.
Would they let a woman be a leader?
Yeah, it's the dynasty, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very progressive of them.
Yeah. It's a progressive country.
Yeah, I feel like they're not. I don't think they seem that sexist. They're more just crazy about
Crazy
the
about the
dynasty
leader,
and
yeah.
the bloodline. So it doesn't really matter if you're a chick.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I'd let her nuke me.
Were you world travelers before North Korea, or
No,
you were
no.
world travelers before North Korea? You weren't?
Oh,
I mean, you
I
might have
did
been,
quite a bit
but
of traveling.
I wasn't. That was our
But he
first
wasn't-
So
one.
your
You didn't
first
have any
time
friends.
leaving Australia was to visit North Korea.
That's where I'm
It
starting.
was
How did that look like on your record?
pretty dodgy. Well, after that, like getting into some countries like America, we get interviewed now where they're just like, why the fuck did you go to North Korea? What were you doing there?
Just for a bit of fun, just having a crack.
Yeah, well, that's what we tell them, and they're just like, why? And you're like, what do you mean? It's interesting.
It's like they're astonished you would want to visit there.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just can't think of the reason it's been led.
But I
We
like it.
probably think about it through an American perspective because we're not allowed there.
Yeah.
Oh, we not.
No.
You're not allowed, period?
No.
Americans got banned by the American government. Like,
Yeah.
After
You
Otto
really can't
Warmbier
travel.
died.
yeah.
So will they let you in, or will you not be allowed back?
We can't go. Like like
so
North
there's
Korea
just
won't
no
let
flights.
Americans in. America won't let Americans in.
Yeah.
Unless I walked across the DMZ,
You could probably defect.
it could affect
Yeah,
become a
that's a
North
way to go
Korean.
in, yeah.
I'll be the first North Korean YouTuber.
That's a great idea. You know, there are some.
Really?
Yeah, but then there's a Malaysian guy that films there, and then I think he uploads the footage when he comes back. He's a,
And then we steal his stuff, and that's the Boy Boy channel.
yep.
So,
Right.
what was the inspiration behind the name Boy Boy?
Oh,
That's actually
How did you
pretty-
come up with the name?
it's a pretty convoluted story.
I'm all down.
but
We got plenty of time.
We can let you into it. It's a bit rambly.
I see.
So his estranged father.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay.
His estranged father has a nickname Iggy,
Yep.
and which he hates because he doesn't like his dad.
Yep.
So we would, as good friends, would always call him Iggy. And so that's such a long story. It's not gonna. It's not gonna.
I thought you were
pay-
joking. I thought the whole story was
No, this is
you were a boy
real.
and you're a boy.
No. This is actually there's
I
kind
didn't
of
realize it was actually a
there
It's
is a
actually
story.
a shared story.
And then he was just Iggy for ages, just to bully him. And then because we bullied him so much, he wasn't very keen on hanging out with us. And every time he didn't want to hang out with us, we'd call him Rude Boy.
Yep.
And it'd be like Iggy Rude Boy, and then it'd be like the Rihanna song, like Iggy Rude Boy, boy. And then eventually it just got
with you.
Oh, holy shit.
And then eventually it got short.
There's a lot of insecurity on this side, is what happened. Which
Insecurity. I'm a bully. Bullies are the confident ones.
yeah, you're right. Sorry.
That's the classic archetype.
Exactly. The confident ones were better than everyone. And then it just got shortened to Boy Boy, and that was his nickname for a while.
Yeah. And then when we filmed, so when we went to North Korea, we filmed that, and we didn't even really know what we were going to do with it. We just
We
had
weren't
some
planning to have a
footage.
YouTube channel. I don't know why it was called Boy Boy. Maybe it was just.
And then we just needed a name, and then we were just like, "Oh, Boy Boy's funny. It's two boys together. You call me Boy Boy." It was
fun to
actually a massige mistake though, because everyone
actually
thinks
pretty
it's porn. It's gay.
Oh yeah, we do online entertainment. Oh yeah, what's your channel? We're Boy Boy.
Boy Boy.
Oh, like boy on boy.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
what we get. Yeah.
Facebook literally categorizes us as you see like suggested pages, and the suggested pages are like boy on boy love. Like,
Aw.
Doesn't help that you keep making gay references.
Yeah, that we're actually gay doesn't help. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's. I think it was a great idea, like inadvertently, because like most of our audience is gay, and they're all very, very dedicated to the channel. So like I think it helps a lot. Although it counts as queer bait, right? That's kind of bad.
Yeah.
We're pretending to be gay. in
we're not
order to make
pretending.
money.
Though.
Pretending.
We're not
We're
pretending.
all a little gay.
Yeah.
You're just
Right?
embracing the lifestyle.
Yeah, and we're,
Embracing the community.
I feel like the more straight people who pretend to be gay, eventually it'll remove all stigma.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Yep.
How can you commit a hate crime when you don't know which one is being ironic?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Screw all these labels.
Yes.
Yep.
There's actually one still on your hat.
What?
There's still one on your hat, actually.
Got a label on there.
No,
No, a label.
You had that label on throughout all of Kangaroo
There have
Island.
been
There have been ants
ants
crawling
crawling.
everywhere.
Fucking yeah. And now every time a mosquito touches me, I think they're like, we should try to find one on camera, but they're like this big.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Fucking-
get lucky and we'll just crawl across the lens.
Bull ants.
We kind of skipped over the whole North Korea thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
What was the vibe?
What was the process like to even get in there as an Australian?
Really easy. Like, not even
Really?
joking. Like, there's not a bit. It was so easy. I think it's because you're essentially on a government tour. Like, they're taking you around everywhere, so they don't really need to worry about you disappearing and doing something dodgy.
Yeah, so
Like,
they're hand holding you.
yeah.
practically.
It was very handheld. Like,
Yeah.
You had someone with you at all times?
All times, yeah. So we just basically you pay a tour company. It was kind of pricey at the time. We thought it was pricey. I think
How
it was
much?
like
It was like probably
2,000 for a week or something.
That's not too bad.
No, I think that's fine. But at the time when I
we had no money.
had no
Yeah.
money, that was quite a bit.
I mean, a trip to North Korea, full guided tour for a week.
You have to
for only
arrive in China
$2,000.
yourself, and then the trip is just from the Chinese border. They
Yeah.
take you.
So you
And
all
what? Like a bus?
Train.
So you all
Train.
meet up on the border at Dandong, and then from Dandong, it's really cool. You're there in this crazy Chinese city filled with
Like, so
rubbish,
developed
and light pollution everywhere, and then across the river you can just see it's completely dark. And we were really lucky. It was a really misty day when we were there, so the bridge was actually just kind of fading into mist.
Because it goes over a river.
Yeah.
Some Silent Hill shit.
Yeah, and then as soon as you get across, it was really interesting because it's like completely different to any other country.
I mean, it was quite beautiful. To be fair, like the countryside was just so pristine and like
well, there's no
compared to China.
compared to China.
So what? You were just going through it like rolling green fields?
Lots
Pretty
of
much
rice,
fields
lots
of
of corn, and
Really?
rolling hills into rivers, and it was nice because there was just all the rivers had just, I think it was like a hangout spot for a lot of people,
Yeah.
so there were always kids. Every river
just like swimming and
filled
splashing.
with kids like swimming.
Was that paradise?
Yeah,
It was quite nice, but I mean, no cars as well. Literally no cars. The whole time, whenever there was a street, it was usually dirt, someone riding a bike. Like,
So it's all bikes?
Environmentally friendly as well.
What about horses? Do they do horses?
ooh, I don't know if we saw any horses. Did we?
I don't remember.
No. A lot of
Probably not.
That's a
Probably somebody
conspiracy.
remember.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of old Soviet stuff as well, which was cool. Like all the kind of things just looked like Soviet vehicles.
The one thing that was like quite freaky, because like we kept talking about how kind of nice things were.
Yeah.
But like the one proper freaky thing was their like relationship with the leaders.
Yeah.
So I remember we went to this they took us to this mausoleum where you've got like the granddad and the dad and Kim Jong Un all together. Oh no, not all together. One of them's still alive.
Yeah.
All like embalmed.
Kim Il Sung and
Yeah, Kim Jong Il.
Kim Jong Il.
Yeah, and it's so freaky because they take you through this travelator for like hours, just blaring the North Korean anthem, and you have to stand there like really silently.
They told us we had to get in 4x4 formations, so we stood in a grid, and the grid was like exactly the same, the right size to get on this travelator. And the travelator just took us down for like an hour.
Slower than walking pace.
Slower than walking, with paintings on the side, just like blaring North Korean music into our faces.
Really?
And then the travelator goes through different rooms. Like one of them has little brushes on the floor to like clean your feet. The other one like go into this little room and it like blows all the dust off you and like makes you nice and clean. And then
It's crazy.
then you finally get into like one of the mausoleums. Let's say it's Kim Il Sung is there, and he's there in glass, and they've like embalmed him, and he's surrounded by soldiers that are guarding him, but like all the soldiers are crying.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was going to ask about that, the whole forced crying thing.
yeah.
Does it feel like they're acting, or is some of them genuinely?
I reckon it's
so ingrained in this culture.
I think it's genuine.
I think it's because imagine like you view someone as a god, or like your father. That's how much they're ingrained and how much they're brainwashed to love them. And then that person's died, like a family member's died, and then you just have to
your job
stand
to
there
watch them all
and
day.
stare at their body all day. It's kind of a fucked up
dude.
job.
Yeah, and they don't sound like effective guards. They're sitting there with tears in their eyes.
Yeah, I've actually stolen the body of Kim Il Sung while they were like out there wiping their
You
eyes.
start bullying them as well.
Yeah.
He's
Your dad's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think would happen if you did that? If you point out his body and say, "Oh yeah, stupid motherfucker,"
I think
dead.
even if you pointed at him,
Yeah,
that would be.
Even if you went like that,
Yeah.
You're not allowed to point.
'Cause-
You do this.
We got in trouble.
you do this.
Yeah.
We got in trouble because I think
Everyone.
all the tour guides had badges with their faces, and I think I wanted to buy one. So I was like, "Where do I buy that?" And she like slapped my hand away, and she was like,
Well, she
"Do
looked
not
like you
point."
punched her. She went like
Yeah.
like blocking the
Yeah.
bullet in
She was
front
like,
of the.
"Do not point." You.
You like this.
So I was like,
Where the dear leaders?
Where do I buy that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is crazy.
No,
Wow.
this.
Wow.
Yeah. How much nicer is this?
This is pretty good. This is like you're
quite pleasant.
presenting something.
Yeah.
This is very like aggressive and
Yeah.
accusatory.
It really is. Yeah.
So did you feel like under threat? It's like, did you feel like you had to behave yourself like
Yeah.
schoolboys kind of?
We felt like we had to behave ourselves, but it never felt dangerous. Like just because like the rules were pretty clear, but it was uncomfortable. Like,
I got a bit uncomfortable at the end because I think I was because we felt comfortable in the beginning with that they seemed more relaxed than we thought they would. I was doing things that I wasn't meant to do. Like they were saying, the rule is you don't take photos of any of the military stuff. So after a while, I was like, well, I want to take photos of military
I was
stuff.
going to say, like, surely you started breaking.
Yeah, so we started taking photos of military stuff. And then one time, I don't think I was taking photos, but they had seen me take photos before. She thought I was taking photos, so she called me over. And then I sat down with all the guides, and they were going through all my footage and making me delete things. And then I actually got a little bit upset because they were making me delete nice photos. And then they actually stopped. They're like, "Oh no, you don't have to delete."
what do you mean
them.
to say that he started crying?
I started crying a little bit.
Yeah.
And I actually had a little tear in my eye because they were making me delete photos.
And it worked so well immediately. As soon as you had like a little tear, they're like, "Oh, so sorry. No, you can."
I think yeah.
Because tears for them are reserved for like
For the
leader.
death.
Yeah.
death of a glorious leader. Like, man, this
You're like, this guy really loves her country. This guy really loves her, Oh.
I do. But then after that, I was a bit paranoid because then they were watching me a bit more.
Yeah.
And I was just like, at the end, I was kind of like, oh, like I kind of.
Where did you guys stay? A hotel?
Yeah. It was like there's like one hotel in the city for foreigners.
You
like,
worried it was bugged?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was
we did this funny thing because like you kind of have this assumption that it's bugged. So when we were out, we'd kind of like whisper to each other like, okay, tonight when we get back, we're just going to speak in gibberish to each other like for hours. And so we would get back and we just be like.
It was so good. We just literally just got back and
but just had the whole night doing that. And then we imagined some like North Korean translator like flicking through like 100
yeah, it's
books.
like, what did I say? Fuck, tell me.
Were you not at all alarmed that maybe they would feel like you weren't who you said you were because of the gibberish? Maybe that
Yeah, maybe
actually,
they feel like, oh, they're talking in code.
Yeah.
Well, we actually had it because I got a little bit paranoid. I remember that they, to get up in the morning, we got up quite early for the tours, like 6 a.m. And we didn't have alarms. They did like wake up calls. So the phone would ring. And I remember one morning the phone rang, and this was after I'd started to become a bit paranoid. And I picked up the phone at 6 a.m. and there was just a man on the phone, and he goes, "Your time is up." And I was just like, What? And then I just kind of freaked out, told Alexa, and then it turns out everyone else who got the same call, "Your time is up," meaning that, it was time to get up. And I was just like, what the fuck? Your time is up?
It was just a mistranslation.
So he called you? Well, you picked him to call someone and he was already there.
No,
That's what I was imagining. He's just like waiting for you to wait.
No, the phone rang at 6 a.m. to wake us up, and I picked it up, and he said,
So a day looked like getting up early, then seeing the tour guide, and then they show you around.
Yeah, that would show us
They
around.
bring you back to the hotel.
Yep.
That's it. You're not allowed to do any sort of...
Also, we did we paid a little bit extra, like it's like a group tour for 5 days, and we stayed for another 2 days just on a private tour.
yeah.
And that was a bit nice. I mean, we're still with a tour guide, but we kind of choose where to go.
But it's funny, they were just like, oh, you can do a walking tour where you can just walk around and see the city. And that walking tour was me and Alexa walking with 2 guides on either side of us.
Like, can we go into that shop? And he's like, no.
And then we walked up the street, we got to the end, and he's like, okay, it's time to go back. And this was like brand new
Like fancy
street with all the
street.
new buildings that they were proud of.
So does it just feel like kind of a veneer over everything? That the stores feel real? Were there any restaurants?
I think it was real. It was more that just like they only want to show us like the best parts
Yeah.
of the country. It's like
They don't
doing a
want to
trip
show you the
Australia and-
slums,
Yeah,
They want to show you the parts of North Korea where people are starving.
Yeah.
What was funny though, because we passed through areas which were slums on the train, because you can't really hide that, and they were so embarrassed by that. But we'd just been in China where everything looked much shitter, and it was so weird to hear them be like, "No, don't film this." It's like there's nothing wrong with this. Like
They
so
made
paranoid.
him delete a photo of a kid. He was like playing in the water and he didn't have any shoes on.
Yep.
No, he doesn't have shoes. He looks poor. I'm like, you got to get rid of that. It's
He's
like,
in the water.
That's what I was like. This is what kids will play like.
yeah, I think they're just like.
What do they think like rich people wear their shoes in the water because they can afford another pair?
I think it's just this really sad kind of situation because they kind of got this idea that they're the greatest place in the world.
Yeah,
like,
you need to keep the image.
yeah, and it's just like they have to go to real extremes to hide the fact that they're not the utopia.
How was the food? Was it any different from like a South Korean or a Chinese food?
The food was great because obviously they want to show us that this is, a great country.
You mean and great? You mean bad?
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, there was some bad food.
No, I loved like the Korean food was really nice, but
Yeah.
oftentimes they wanted to like please us tourists, and we just kept getting up French fries and like
Oh,
it was
American food.
it was really
American
bad,
food,
like-
burgers, but then when we had Korean food, it was
Oh,
amazing.
there's some amazing stuff.
There's so much food.
Yeah.
So much. Like,
Right.
So the tour guides showing you around, are they from the government? Or are they their
Yeah.
own? Okay, so they're like fully in the know.
Yeah, usually I think the way it works, the tour guides are like usually like kids of diplomats and different things, like people who want to get like a good job and like want to practice their English and stuff and want to get like a big diplomatic position. They kind of do the rounds as tour
Right.
guides, and that's like your graduation into the big leagues.
they were also knowledgeable as well.
Oh,
It's
they knew fucking
ridiculous. Like they knew all the history of our country,
They knew
of
so much more about
Australia,
Australia than we
and,
knew.
and the relations with North Korea and America's involvements in all the wars over the years, and like, yeah, it was insane.
About just like general knowledge of the Western world, were they just totally...
They seem like
No, I would say they thought they did, but they had very, for example, like when it came to technology, that was a great example when we went to this kind of museum of all the gifts that Kim Jong-un has meant to receive from leaders all around the world. Yeah. And one of the gifts they showed us was from the South Korean leader.
no, it wasn't South Korean leader. It was the CEO of Samsung.
CEO of Samsung, and they walk up to this cabinet and they were like, here are all the gifts from the CEO of Samsung.
It was like showing us the newest Samsung technology.
And it was all Apple products.
It was like, but it was like all Macintosh from like the 90s.
From the 90s, and everyone was trying so hard not to laugh.
It was,
but it's just like,
yeah, you don't want to get in trouble, and you're just standing there like really silently while
You
they're.
give them the information, now they gotta like off them. They're like, you know too much.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say you can't play Fortnite in North Korea.
definitely not.
No.
A lot of bot lobbies.
Crazy.
Yeah, so many bomb lobbies.
Well, I felt like Kim Jong-un is like some kind of gamer or like some super like massive shut-in who's somehow like gotten into a parallel universe where he's the king of the world.
Yeah.
Like, because some of the stuff he does, like in this same gift museum, you've got this one portrait of him, and it's here, and like they're explaining to you, like, this is our dear leader in a suit of armor, riding a tiger, smoking a cigarette.
On
And
Mount
it's,
Pector.
yeah, it's just his portrait. It's the most absurd thing I've ever seen.
And it's him on a tiger, and they think that that's a real
Like,
thing
cool
that he's
thing.
done.
Right, that he's done that.
And they just say that like not like a joke. You're meant to look at this and be like, oh yes.
He's just smoking a
Good on
cigarette
him.
is like the best touch as well. He looks fucking
It
badass.
looks cool as fuck.
Yeah,
But it looks like what you would do if you were making an avatar in a game, except
Yeah.
he would manage to do it. Like,
A fantasy image of what the most masculine thing is.
Yeah, it's literally that. Just always.
Did he look slimmer in the painting?
it was pretty true to life. I think he's pretty. They're pretty body positive and North Korea.
Yeah.
Painting's
Probably
that
because they
bad.
consider
The-
a bit of chubbiness, a bit of wealth as
Yeah,
well.
sure.
Yeah.
So well fed.
Yeah.
So you said that this trip was what birthed the Boy Boy Channel.
Yeah, pretty much. We turned that trip into a documentary essentially about North Korea. Like,
They let you keep the footage.
yeah. Pretty much. Well, it was pretty funny. I think they again like the technology differences is a bit sad, but they went through Alex's camera because he was taking pictures of military stuff.
Yeah.
They'd see thumbnails of videos, which would just start like him filming the ground and something else, and they wouldn't know that was a video. And they'd just be like, "Oh, this man loves pictures of the
And
ground."
this fucking moron's taking photos. This stupid Australian taking photos of the ground. What an idiot!
What's so impressive about the ground? I don't understand.
Yeah, so like, we got scared.
Yeah, even though the shit they make you delete, can't you just go back home and like undelete it anyways?
Yeah, it's not really an issue.
Yeah.
And also they kept being like, oh, like we'll let you keep this once you get to the border. They're not as nice as us. Then you get to the border and no one gives a shit at all. Like someone comes into the thing, they're just laughing, let you through.
What does the border look like? Is there like a gate coming in? Because I've only seen photos of like the DMZ with.
You
like,
would have gone
fences
through the
and
northern border, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
China.
And it wasn't a gate. It was kind of interesting to see that there, at the train station in Dandong, there was a bit of kind of like almost free-flowing exchange. There were
Yeah.
North Koreans getting on, usually taking appliances like
Yeah, like
fridges and
TV
stuff. And there, actually in Dandong, we saw people that looked like kind of like not poor North Koreans, but the level of the guy, just
Was that-
diplomats walking around.
We went to Russia straight after in like Vladivostok, which is also like across the border. And there were North Koreans around there as well.
Yep, that was interesting.
I think they're like, probably depends on what kind. I think it's like strictly controlled, like who goes in and out. But there
Yeah.
are a lot of them going in and out.
Yeah.
Right. So was North Korea the craziest place you've traveled to then?
No, I think I was LA.
LA.
Yeah,
Really?
That's a wild city.
That's something else. Yeah.
I don't know what the craziest place. I might say Irkutsk in Russia.
Oh yeah.
Did you
we're-
continue traveling with the intention of making video sort of documentaries about them, or just started getting curious about the world? Like,
Barely. I don't know. Like we had the North Korea thing in mind. Then after a while, we're just like, it's kind of just fun just to travel.
Yeah.
And,
then I think we just continued. So then after that, we did the Trans-Siberian all across Russia.
yeah,
And that
long journey, right?
was so long. I lost
altogether
in
like
a
8
month.
days on the train.
Oh, well, we did the
We
trip
split it
was
up,
30
but
days, but
it was-
8 days continuous on the train.
Wow.
And I lost 7 kilos because we just did not. I remember the first time we got on the train from Vladivostok, we got on, we didn't have any rubles, and we just had nowhere to buy food. So we just didn't eat for 2 days
Yeah, it was
until the
horrible.
train just fucking stopped.
The nice thing is, like, you'd have like a Russian family like get on, and they'd bring out like a big roast chicken and all this other stuff, and like they usually feed you, which is
Yeah.
nice.
That would drive me crazy. Even just 8 days on a train, I think.
It wasn't great. Like people romanticize these train journeys. It's very boring.
It's
being on a
especially
train sucks.
especially the Russian countryside. It is the same tree over and
Oh.
over and over and over and over.
That's the
again.
thing. Like, there's certain stretches of it where there's like no city for a day.
Yeah.
So you're just like you're just
Damn.
looking at trees constantly.
Was it worth it to get to the destination? Was that interesting at least?
Yeah, that was Moscow.
Yeah, the train was actually kind of fun.
It was
I mean,
fun.
like people were drinking a lot, and
Yeah.
it's fun trying to work out what they're trying to tell you.
Yeah, it was. I was just so fucked at the end of it, just like delirious and skinny. And, oh, it was-
But Siberia was the worst because I think like every second dude we saw there had a black eye.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other day,
Yeah.
like, quite a violent place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just punching each other in the head.
What else is there to do?
Yeah, true.
You know? Besides drink and beat the shit out of each
Probably
other.
a good way to keep warm. You know how warm your eye gets when you get punched?
Just keep the blood.
Or your arms.
Yeah, your arms too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're boxing though.
Yeah.
I mean, you've both boxed. Obviously, you were in this year's Creator Clash, which is crazy. Now you're about to box in December.
Yeah. I hope. I feel like I've gotten a bit too much confidence seeing how he went,
Yeah.
and I realize we're not actually the same person.
But it's not just boxing, is it? What you're doing?
Yeah, it's chess boxing.
So it's chess.
So,
This
yeah.
is for Ludwig's, right? This
Yeah.
is Ludwig's chess
Ludwig's
boxing.
chess
match.
boxing event in December. It's putting my money on the chess. I hope I'm.
Like chest or like chest?
Oh yeah, we
Chess.
only punch each other in the chest.
Ah.
Yeah, it's
Chess.
Yeah, so it's like 2 minutes of chess, 2 minutes of boxing, 2 minutes of chess, 2 minutes of boxing. It keeps going until either someone gets knocked out or there's a checkmate.
Yeah.
We've been hanging out the last few days, Kangaroo Island, which we'll talk about later. But you've been grinding chess the whole time.
Yeah.
So if you can get it in, you're playing. And
Yeah.
you must
Pretty
have
good.
gotten. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, who's your opponent? Are you allowed to say who your opponent?
Yeah. It's Myth.
Fortnite player. Famous Fortnite player.
Yeah.
Fortnite Myth.
He's got
Lovely
it quite
guys.
beefy in the last couple of years. I do.
Yeah, he's been doing. He's a really nice guy. It's really going to suck getting knocked out by him. Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna have to make him
You
look
can
bad.
checkmate him. You can 4-move checkmate him.
yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
I feel like having big muscles slows you down, at least in chess. I
At
don't know
least in
about boxing,
chess,
but-
yeah. You're a lot more nimble.
You're a lot
Yeah.
taller too. I hung out with Myth at the end of last year, and he did strike me as quite small.
He's small, but he's probably gonna make up for it with his giant muscles.
think he's gotten quite strong.
Well, when we first got confirmed for the event, he was like 8 kilograms heavier than me.
Right.
Which is
That's
big.
impressive considering you're much taller.
Yeah. I think I'm just a very slim, weak boy. But he said he's going to come down in weight, and I don't know what Fortnite players are like. I don't know. I hope they're true to their word.
Just tell him to take the train.
Yeah. Take a trip to Russia.
And you sort of masqueraded as Alex's coach for the Creator Clash.
Yeah.
He was my.
I taught him
was-
everything.
Yeah, it was my coach.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
coach, and now
So
I'm
you got him in fighting condition.
Yeah.
You get yourself.
and now I'm his coach for this.
You guys showed us some footage of your backyard training.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you want to go into your training.
Yeah,
because
that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you don't reveal my secret move, that one.
Whoa,
As long as cut
just-
that.
Just blur that and
Blur
blur
that.
that as well. Don't
Yeah.
let him say that.
Have you ever considered a...
Whoa, yeah.
It was funny when I was sparring with Alexa the other day. There is actually something
I
you
did
can
a sick move.
do, which is like if you're just boxing and you kick the guy, you drop your hands and then just look off in the distance, like you're looking at someone, and just even slowly do that. It works.
You'll
it
hit him.
works so much.
So
You just
confusing.
you're fighting. Just
That was the only time I managed to hit Alex in the head through the whole spar. Was when I stopped and went like this.
and then you just popped me in the head. I was like, oh, okay.
But I reckon that would work. That would work in a boxing match. It's just kind of like mean. Or
Dude, it's really risky to take your eyes off
Yeah,
your,
it's
off your opponent.
True.
Because what if he just doesn't give a fuck what you're looking at,
Yeah.
and he's just in the zone?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I won't do it.
they can't see you winking and you've got AV or something.
Was that a wink? That was more of a twitch, like you're
coming
having a
onto me.
seizure.
Do you know how many people are watching the...
Oh god.
I'll put these back on.
He does
a
it
good
all
boxing
the time.
eyes.
Do you know how big the Ludwig event is, like in terms of audience?
I think live they said it was 5,000.
In the
Creator
stadium.
Clash was 10,000?
10,000.
Yeah.
And then because the Ludwig one's going to be live streamed for free on YouTube, it could potentially be
quite a bit
200,000-300,000 people
Yeah.
watching live. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty
It'd be
insane.
awesome.
And I think you're first as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you were ringside with the Creator Clash, obviously, so you kind of know what that atmosphere feels like. Not quite in the ring.
I hated being ringside. I hated, probably shouldn't be revealing this because this is going to make me feel a lot better. But, watching Creator Clash gave me PTSD. See the noise of, someone getting cracked in the face. It repeated on me for days.
What was the worst fight to watch?
Here's one.
It was...
Well, dude, I felt so bad for Iwan's out, man. Boy, hey, you had it coming.
He did.
You had it coming.
He did.
Why have your birthday on that day?
No, it was his
Asking for it.
birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was his birthday.
Happy birthday, Iwan's out.
Yeah, what was it like for you when you... Because, we've all seen the fight. You obviously hit him and then realize, oh, I've just hurt him quite badly. And you sort of see you hesitate. And
Well, I think I thought that when I done sparring, you know, in Australia, it was, I think that I just want to stop it immediately when it looks like someone's losing.
Yeah.
But in Florida, things must be different. So they didn't do the standing 8 count, which is normal. They would just like,
Yeah, so if someone's
finish
legs are weak, and like Australian boxing, they do that, and then they do the count.
Yeah.
They take their gloves, they touch them together, they go, "Are
Yeah.
you good to fight?" They go, "Yes" or "No."
Yeah.
But they don't do that in Florida. In Florida, it's when they're on the ground.
yeah. And he literally had like a stumble like this. Like he looked like he was drunk.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I have to hit a drunk. That's what I felt like.
At that point, it's almost like you want to put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
Like you want to like just punch him until the fight's like done and it's over. You don't have to punch him anymore.
Well, that's what I felt after a while when I realized that the ref wasn't going to stop. I was just like, well, I got to punch this guy more.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's what boxing is.
It really is what boxing is.
People want to see a show.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't feel like too bad because you know what he signed up for.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows what they sign up for. You're signing up to get punched in the face
Yeah.
many times, or in the liver many times.
What was the worst injury in the Curtis clash? Were there any broken noses?
Yeah, Ryan McGee broke his nose.
And I think the worst I've had was
Matt Watson too. He's still fucked up.
he still
That's
got weird eyes.
I put $5,000 in Matt Watson.
Really?
No, you did not.
I did.
That's why.
Why?
Because I believed in him.
Did you tell him that?
No.
Whatever you do, you got to put $5,000 on myth. I reckon.
Yep.
That's
Is this like insider knowledge?
Well, that's why it's,
well, it seems like there's a recurring thing here.
it is a good plan because if you win, if you're right, you get more money, and then if you're wrong, Alexa wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everything you
win-win for
wanted.
you.
It's true. It's true. It's a win-win.
Hey, I believed in you the whole time.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
So when you're training for the chess boxing, I assume you're doing like 2 minutes and then you're playing chess as well,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
did you just like take the gloves off?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I
It's
think
so funny
that's-
trying to play with the gloves.
Yeah. It really is.
Just knocking all the pieces over.
Oh god.
Where do they put the board in the ring?
Yeah, it's on like a table, and then they take the table out.
So,
They do it all for you.
what prevents you from just not moving? If you think you
Nothing.
can, really?
It's a pretty good power move. Like if you're just not moving and just staring the person in the eyes.
I think that there's a chance, based on the research on how Myth plays chess, that Myth might just do that. Myth might just stare at you for 2 minutes waiting and then just come at you with a lot of energy.
So you don't have to. There's
You
no
don't-
like chess clock.
There's
There is a
clock,
chess
but you've
clock.
got 8 minutes.
You can.
So you can potentially just like save it all for the boxing.
And because
Explain
there's
how this works with the chess and boxing.
so it's 2 minutes of chess. So there's a timer. You play for 2 minutes, and then if no one has checkmated the other person in that 2 minutes, you do 1.5 minutes of boxing. No one gets knocked out. You go back to 2 minutes of chess, and you repeat until it's that 8 minutes of
Wow.
chess runs out.
Very cerebral.
I guess the good news is that you get a big rest, like cardio.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
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 Because what's the rest time? It's like 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Yeah. Oh, in a minute.
It's a minute.
It's in this one you get 30 seconds plus the 2 minutes.
So that's a lot.
of chess.
Right. Oh, so you have 30 seconds to recuperate. And,
Yeah, or like while they're setting up the table as well. And,
I thought it was just immediate. Like as soon as the bell goes, you're playing chess.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what happens if someone bumps into the board? Like,
No, they moved out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's actually going to be a really interesting event.
I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it.
And it is really fun as well because obviously you're getting punched in the head. The chess gets like
Gets so
comically
bad,
worse.
yeah.
Like people are just making moves where you're screaming at the screen, being like, "Why did you do that, you fucking idiot?"
The chess players wear like sound cancelling headphones, so you can't hear anyone like coaching you.
Yeah, going like, going like
Positive
pawn to A3 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's going to
why
be crazy because you'll be going from like the atmosphere of the arena to just.
And you're probably
Just hearing, you'll be hearing your pulse, bro. You'll be.
Oh, so loud. My plan is to punch Myth in the ears a lot, so then even when he puts these things on, he'll still be like he's getting hurt.
Throbbing.
I'll be like, "He's still grabbing my ears. He's still grabbing my head."
Just pull a Tyson, dude.
I just fight his
it
ear off. Then you can't put the headphones on. Done. He probably thought he was doing chess boxing. That's where the misunderstanding happened.
Crazy. So you must feel like you've gotten significantly better at chess over the last couple months.
Yeah, better at chess, barely better at boxing, but I feel like again, if there's nothing stopping Myth from just staring me down in the chess match, there's nothing stopping me from just running away from him through around in circles in the boxing. Same strategy.
That's so good. He waits while you run around, and nothing gets done the entire match. There's no chess and there's no boxing.
It just times out at the end.
That would be the great counterplay. If he does try to just time you out, just not do a move, then
Just
run around. Just run around.
How would they decide the winner in that case?
I think I'd win because his
the
time
most
would run
effective.
out.
Whoever's time is.
His time would run out.
Yeah.
That's the strategy.
Whoever has the lowest time, the most hits, I guess.
It's so ridiculous.
It's going to be very, very interesting to see how the judges fucking score this.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to win.
I think most of the time, I think it's not going to be knockout from boxing. I think it will be a checkmate.
I feel like it'll be like that too.
Yeah.
There weren't any knockouts in the Creator Clash.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
There were stoppages. There was some where it's like.
there were a lot of
technical
knockdowns,
Yeah.
but not a lot of
No one was, like,
no one
like
was
that.
cold KO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Which is good. That is
Probably
good.
quite hard to actually KO someone as an amateur.
Yeah. Well, I think that the fact that we had the 16-ounce gloves on, if we didn't have those, there for sure would have been some knockouts. Like,
What are you talking, like bare knuckles?
no,
just
like
lighter gloves.
so 10-ounce gloves, so it's just less
Right.
padding.
Yeah.
Hurts your hands more, but hurts your head more as well. So.
Great. A great sport.
Isn't bare knuckle literally like a safer way to box?
Because you're not gonna punch. You can't punch as hard, and you can break your hand.
Yeah, so people, old timey boxing, you know, where they're doing like that, and people look at those pictures and like that's so ridiculous. Why the fuck do people like look like this? It was because they bare knuckle box, but they wouldn't hit each other in the head because it would break their fucking head. So it was all chest.
Was it
It was
really?
chest and liver. It was like chest and the
That's
body and
Maybe
the
they would
arms.
try like one or two headshots, but it wouldn't be consistent.
They'd go for the nose. I think it old
Nose
like
or
the
the jaw.
in the 1800s. I'm pretty sure it was like just illegal to go for the head.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the official,
Like official,
not
like
Josh
actual.
Bronson in street fights.
No,
I
no,
thought
dude, not like Kimbo Slice or anything.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, Kimbo Slice, this guy.
Yeah, this guy with the big beard.
I had it in boxing sometimes and sparring where I've like done a punch and my sparring partner is like turned down and I punch them like directly here.
Right in the cranium.
Fucking hurts your hand so much. Where you're just like, I cannot box anymore after
Can I
that.
go for here or for here?
Yeah, the
Or
nose
for
hurts so
the
much.
chin, dude. If you can just get him on the chin, push the off button, it's over.
The amount of times this guy's hit me on the chin.
You need to
Stop.
be like quite careful about how you're holding your jaw though, because if you have your mouth hanging open, you get hit in the jaw.
Yeah.
break that.
Yeah,
shit, right?
pop it right out.
Fuck, yeah.
Goodbye mandible. But it's not like the punch to the jaw that like will knock you out. It's because you're hitting there,
You
and the
twist.
head turns, and your brain bounces off the inside of your skull.
It's like using
and
a
then
lever.
and it resets.
Yeah. Yeah. Great sport.
Great sport.
Great sport.
Would you be keen to fight again?
I don't know. I think if I find the right opponent, I would do it again.
Yeah.
But it depends. It'll have to be someone a bit, Odd Ones Out was
A little bit
quite a bit shorter than me. So someone maybe similar height.
Someone like similar height,
even taller,
similar build.
like them.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys
Take on the
down there.
ribs.
Oh, look at that one, Ryan.
Get some sparring in after this.
That would be great.
They look a bit lazy though. When out of practice. What about when the fight immediately after it ended? What did you say to yourself? Was it like,
I said I'm never doing that again. Because there was a moment when I landed the big, I think it was a
Big
big
right.
straight right, and just straight into his nose, and I felt like his girlfriend said his nose was broken. He said it wasn't. I don't know, but I felt a crack that like reverberated through my whole arm, and I was just like. It's just like feeling the contours of someone's face as well. When you hit them that hard, you can just feel it. I was just like, that's.
Yeah, you feel the cartilage move and,
Yeah,
and
it was
crack
just a
and break and
fuck feeling.
deform.
But I was actually annoyed that he wasn't fucking, because whenever I sparred, people would put their hands up.
yeah?
The first jab I landed hit him in the face, and I was actually like, what the fuck is this?
I feel like I noticed that quite a lot in boxing. It's like, you're supposed to hold your hands up, but people, I mean, obviously it's very tiring. Right?
Yeah.
The further the fight goes on, I think people don't tend to have their hands
Yeah.
up. But like, yeah, if you're not holding them up at the start, you're just asking.
Yeah.
for it.
Well, I noticed that a lot in Creator Clash. Like, the majority of the fights were like down and just like haymakers.
Yeah.
I feel like the only fight that I saw where the gloves were up consistently was Minx and
And Haley.
Haley.
Some of them, though, they got pretty lazy at the end where they were just taking turns.
Oh,
to go
dude,
punch each other in the head.
whack
Drinks.
each other.
Was it drinks? Wasn't Mink's drinks?
I mean, that's
That's
I don't know if that's leaked information, but
The Irish tactic.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Explain my
Just get so
thing,
numb.
problem.
Just get so, that's why she was smiling.
Yeah,
She's like, I can't
that's
feel
explain.
fucking anything.
Because you got to see your fight from an angle that no one else did. You like looking at each other in the eyes. What was the energy like? Like,
It's hard to explain. I guess you kind of just go a bit. I mean, I didn't feel much. It was kind of just like when I was in the zone of boxing, I was kind of just like almost like a bit quiet and calm. Or just like,
trance.
yeah, it's a bit like a trance zombie mode where it's like my one purpose here is to fucking smash this man in the face. And it was only once I landed the big hit that I was kind of like, oh, I achieved that goal. So then I calmed down a little bit.
right.
So before that, I didn't actually feel that much. Even walking out, usually in front of 10,000 people, I'd be freaking out a bit. But I was just kind of like, I actually enjoyed the dance in.
You just look terrified.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm just like, I hope I don't have to fight you.
Well, the dance in, I actually found more fun than the fight. And I was like,
Yeah, you did a
just-
great entrance.
Yeah. Exactly.
What happened? No, but you were saying what happened after the fight? Like as soon as it ended.
Yeah.
As soon as it ended, I was kind of like in that trance mode, like headspace. Then I kind of like heard the crowd and suddenly got a bit nervous. And I was in front of all these people. I was like, whoa, there's a lot of people out here. I was like, how did I get here? Like,
I assume feeling of relief, perhaps, that was
relief, relief and kind of just like weird emotions. And also, you've just got so much adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to just not feel the most awake you've ever felt.
I mean, you're literally in fight or flight,
Yeah.
and you can only choose fight.
Yeah.
I could choose flight. That's my-
You could choose flight, but he couldn't. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
What about the energy, like, once you got off the stage and went back to the...
That was lovely. It was so nice because obviously I won the fight, so it was so positive and nice for me. And then celebrating with everyone else was awesome.
It made me really proud as a coach as well.
Yeah,
seeing him
you worked hard.
putting everything I taught him into practice.
Yeah.
I just wonder how it would be for someone losing a fight, knowing you train so
Maybe
hard.
you'll find that out next year.
Maybe I'll lose next year, and then we'll see. But it'd be so strange because you train so hard, and then it's just all done in like 5 minutes. And then everyone that watches obviously sees you as the weaker loser as well. It's such a.
Did you speak to Wanzad about that at all?
I did.
We went to dinner like pretty soon after, like a couple of days after the fight.
Yeah, him and he's just all swollen and red, and he's got the cast on his nose.
Alex somehow looked better than before the fight.
Yeah,
It's glowing.
Yeah.
yeah, it's that energy, that murderous energy. It's great.
Poor guy.
He was sort of like, obviously there's no real beef.
There wasn't any beef, but I think he did express that he kind of wanted to do it again, not with me, but to prove to everyone that he had been training hard. And
It really wasn't
ego.
like it didn't seem like a fair match.
no, I don't think
But
so.
I mean,
But it's hard because we were the same weight as well, and we had the same amount of training. So it's like in boxing, that's considered the
Things
the
can
thing.
happen. You spar someone one day and you go well, and then like the next week you spar them and
it
you
is a
lose.
toss-up, man.
Yeah.
Anything can really happen in the ring.
Yeah,
I mean, from a viewer perspective and from what I was sort of picking up from the internet in general, just everyone respected the hell out of anyone
Yeah.
that
Yes.
Yeah.
because it's just such a crazy
Yeah.
thing to have done.
and even Matt,
Thank God.
who got beaten up. It's like
Yeah. Oh my God, Matt.
yeah. I mean, I did see some people
My
shitting on
wallet.
him
Like a
actually.
champ.
It was kind of ridiculous. So I was quite worried for Alex. Well, mainly for selfish reasons because I had come there with him and I wanted to party, and I was like, oh fuck, if he goes to the hospital, like, I'm gonna have to go with him. Like we won't be able to do anything, and he was completely fine. But then Matt, who like arguably had the most long-term effects from it, he was out partying that night as well. It was only until he got home at like 3 a.m. that he's like, oh fuck, I should probably go to the hospital.
When you like not to drink after the fight, is it bad to like,
Definitely.
drink?
They told us not to do that if you have any signs of concussion. And Matt definitely had signs of concussion because when I saw him at the party, he was like peaking. I just
Right.
thought he had taken drugs, but no, he was concussed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, his fucking pupils were like massive. Just like,
Well, this music's gotten a lot better as well.
Yeah. He opened his mind.
it was all worth it.
Too, man.
Yeah, it's music's great.
Another banger.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We'll be watching it eagerly. We'll be placing bets.
Yeah, 5,000 on me, please.
Okay. All right. Should we talk about those guys?
Oh yeah.
Kangaroos and the trip, maybe?
We are
out
sitting
here.
in front of some kangaroos, so we better get into where we went recently. As I said earlier, we ventured over to Kangaroo Island, which, if you don't
Kangaroo
know,
Island.
is
It's the third biggest island in all of Australia.
it's just off the coast of Adelaide, which is none of us lived there. But
Nope, some
traveled
South
down.
Australia.
Deceptively enough, we've seen more kangaroos today just like in Melbourne than we have in all of Kangaroo Island for the week we were there.
What do you mean? We're in Kangaroo Island right now.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I guess we could just.
Lovely Kangaroo Island.
You spoiled it.
But yeah, we went over to Kangaroo Island to attempt to create a video with our friends, Boy United and the thing, and also enlisted the help of the Raka Raka twins, Danny and Michael. And it was an interesting experience. There was some ups and downs on the trip, for sure. We took the ferry over. We had a van and a ute, and the accommodation there. We enlisted the help of some local boys.
Yep, 3 local boys.
Yep, who were characters for sure.
They were
absolutely- they
interesting
were-
boys.
They were characters.
Lovely in their own way.
Lovely in their own way.
Yeah.
A little,
Little loose, maybe they might say.
yeah. Very country boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the stories they told us about whatever they got up to when they were bored was just like,
Yeah, well, they were like,
Hyper violence.
yeah, they were like, oh yeah, we had to be removed from like the roof of this bar in Adelaide. It was like, what do you mean? They were like, oh yeah, we climbed up a gutter, and then like we thought it would be funny to just go on top of the roof of this bar, and then the cops had to come and take them down, and then they did it again the next week. They were on the news for it.
So funny. There was just a clip of them being interviewed in like tradie high-vis vests and black sunnies.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, we climbed on the roof, thought it was funny. Yeah, it's just like they were showing us this at the pub, and they were just so proud of
They
their.
showed us this fucked up video where they were like, they were meant to be going to pre-drinks on a party, so the 3 of them were just at home drinking, like getting ready to go out. And then like one thing led to another, and they ended up just smashing up one of their cars, like completely like unrecognizable, like
Just
backing out the windows,
jumping on top of it.
from the roof of the house onto the roof of the car.
chairs through the windscreen. And we asked them, why did they do that? They were just like, oh, we don't know. We were just high. We're like, all right. But like, I've been high and I've never done that. So I'm like, what's the difference here?
It's very, very interesting. Very, very, very much a culture shock.
Yeah.
But that was the day before we were meant to start filming with them.
True,
And like
yeah.
as soon as I saw that video, I was like, fuck, like what are they?
Yeah.
Like, what are we
Yeah,
doing?
what
Like,
have we gotten into? Because we were under the impression that like they knew Danny, that they knew
Yep.
Danny Racka, because Danny had organized this before. He had put out like an Instagram story. If there's any locals on Kangaroo Island that could help us with blah 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 blah, reach out. And so they reached out. But we were we were all under the impression that they were like close friends with Danny.
Yeah.
Danny like spoke to them over DMs, didn't know them at all.
Yeah.
And Danny and Michael actually arrived a day later than we thought, so we had a day by ourselves with the.
With the boys.
Yeah.
Who were getting very impatient that we weren't, in charge and making calls and
Yeah.
kind of getting
Doing
on with
stuff,
the video.
yeah.
Get a
is
little
fair.
frustrated with us. Thankfully, we sorted things out and got them paid and fixed up. And after which, their energy immediately changed, and they just said like, "Oh, we're gonna buy so much ketamine."
The moment the money hit their bank account, they're like, we're getting ketamine tonight.
No,
boys."
it was like a beers,
beers
beers.
for everyone.
And then oh, it's ketamine.
They were henceforth referred to as the ketamine boys. That's what we will call them from now on, the
But
ketamine boys.
I love it. The next morning they arrived at our place to pick us up at like 10 a.m. and they were on time, which is good. But one of them just had like a kind of like
He had a
blood.
straight up cut and blood on his eyebrow,
Yeah.
like on his eyebrow.
which wasn't there before. And then we asked, how did that happen? And his mate was like, oh yeah, what did he say?
He gave me a
He said he
Tim Tam.
like pipped a Tim Tam at him. He threw a Tim Tam at him.
A Tim Tam, for those of you who don't know, is just the Aussie biscuit,
It's like a chocolate covered biscuit.
chocolate with a bit of chocolate cream in the middle.
Which is surely impossible. A chocolate biscuit cannot cut your face open.
But we were like, did you throw one? Did you throw the whole pack? He was like, yeah, Tim Tam. It was just,
That's the only
He
explanation.
was strangely vague about it, so I think they just.
I think they had a punch on each
I
other.
think they punched each other.
Although I walked into a doorknob, I swear.
Credit to them, like even after a night of drinking and railing lines of ketamine, they showed up on time.
Yep.
Danny and Michael had arrived, and the video was on. We only had one day to shoot, basically
Single
the
day.
whole thing.
Yeah.
So when you do see the video, keep in mind that it was all shot in a day, and be impressed because hopefully it'll.
It was we did have a lot of good luck.
It was
like
from-
every single thing we filmed was best case scenario.
Dude, it was
we got lucky.
incredible luck for like every scene. It all went off without a hitch. So yeah, you guys got to experience a very authentic Misfits trip.
Yes.
Yeah, because
What, unorganized?
Unorganized at first, and then somehow it magically comes together.
Yeah, comes together.
Every trip is like this.
I watched your videos before and like I got the impression that things were a bit like kind of wild and you don't really know what's going to happen. And I was like, oh fuck, like what if I die? Like what can happen?
We almost did.
But the thing is, all the near-death experiences had nothing to do with the video. It was just driving from place to place on the island. I was just like terrified, like skidding through the country roads.
We should probably explain what the concept of the video was.
Oh, yeah.
The overall theme was that we were trying to find a legendary Aussie creature called the Yowie.
The Yowie.
Which is basically Australian Bigfoot. Now, I'm from New Zealand. I never heard of the Yowie until like a month ago when we planned this video.
It was funny, pretty much no one at Kangaroo Island knows what
I was under the impression that like most Australians just knew what the Yowie was. And it was sort of a popular theme here. No one fucking knows what the Yowie
We're
is.
going up to a ton of locals. Hey, have you seen the Yowie? They're like, what did you say?
What is that?
What?
We're like, it's like big and hairy. They're like, oh, have you checked the pub?
Yeah, same joke every time.
Same joke every time.
So it was a little difficult to get some leads. But yeah, we shot a few scenes. So we wanted to film a scene where we arrived at the island on boat, which is just a lie. But
We did. We took the
ferry.
we
ferry.
took the ferry. But we wanted like a small tinny boat,
Like on a deserted island.
rough seas. We wanted to make it look like Kangaroo Island was this like abandoned place.
Like a deserted, completely deserted island.
It's pretty abandoned. 4,000 people on an island the size of all of Adelaide. But
Yeah, but we wanted it to look like wild.
Yeah.
So the ketamine boys let us use their boat, drove it to the beach. It was quite choppy conditions. We were a bit nervous.
And there were way too many people on that boat.
Yeah.
The fact that the guy driving the boat was just like
Freaking out.
the whole time.
Well,
like, I don't know if this is going to
We're
capsize.
taking the boat off the bank of the ute, and he's like going to put it in the water, and he's like, "How many people are coming?" I'm like, "Oh, well, me, but I'm like, oh, like six people are gonna go on this boat." He's like,
I'm
Okay.
definitely losing my dad's boat
Okay.
today.
Yeah.
and we're going in, and there's these big waves coming in as we're like trying to be pushed out, and they're crashing in. They're filling up the boat with water.
Yeah.
Everyone gets in, and like the edge of the boat is maybe like 2 inches from the water line.
Dipping down is like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, maybe we can start bailing out all the water. We just don't have any buckets. And, like,
Yeah,
Pete
they took the
grabs
buckets out to fit us in.
Like, grabs the binoculars, like, knocks out a lens and starts using the binoculars as like a...
Very effective with binoculars.
They just kind of ruined it with the binocular.
No, they were already broken. I didn't break them for that.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you were just like quickly.
No, but so yeah, we just
You
filmed
guys
this ridiculous scene where like we went out into the water a little bit and we were going over the waves and going, oh, and almost falling out, and then sort of curved back around and we're like, there's land. Like,
But to be fair, I was really happy to see land.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
was
please,
too.
like,
I was so fucking scared. The
we were
water was
fucking
freezing.
It was cold and like sharks and like.
It was also the first thing we shot that day, and we were all dressed like you two.
Yeah.
And our boots were just filled with seawater.
Yeah.
Immediately. All our clothes were soaked.
The rest of the day, we just had to spend soaked in sea.
Yeah, just squelching around the island. But yeah, the scene was a success, I hope. I think it hopefully turned out pretty cinematic.
Fun video, and I love it as well that it genuinely just started in the morning and then the last scene is at night. So it's just a
Yeah.
true progression of the day.
Everything was filmed in order.
And did so much in that day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Insane.
It was an incredible amount.
It was dodgy though getting the boat to and from the shore.
Oh, that was
So we
horrible.
wanted to drive it down to where there were no people so that it looked, authentic. And to do so, we were just in the back of the boat on a trailer, just and the ketamine boys were driving. And the ketamine boys don't really have a concept of a speed limit. They were
No.
just fanging it down the beach. And we
It
were
would have
just-
been 80, 90.
They were
Ks.
going 100, dude.
Yeah, were
for
they?
sure. Like 100.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It was,
we were.
that was terrifying. Like, one little slip and we would have all been dead.
Sometimes you could feel the trailer start to do a bit of the death wobble.
Oh.
because he kept going to hit seagulls.
Is that what he was doing?
At one
I mean,
point,
Swerving in the
The
seagulls.
funny thing though is like there was like 6 of us in the little boat going like 100 kilometers an hour down the road, down the sand, and like these people walking down the beach, and they were just like, "Slow down!" Like yelling at us. I'm like, "You think we can control
Yeah,
this?"
we're trying. We're
trying.
fucking with the throttle of the boat.
it's very ominous. There were a couple of times where I just thought we could all die.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
was
disassociated.
sure.
I was just like, I'm already dead. Doesn't
I've got no
matter.
control of it.
Yeah,
There's been a
whatever.
lot of Misfits trips where I've had that exact
Yep.
thought of like, I can't control the situation, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to. die.
Just so I'm alright, like whatever.
Just gonna cope.
I wasn't able to do that. I didn't have
Yeah.
the mental fortitude the whole time. I was like,
Yeah, he's just screaming, slow down!
"Stop!"
They're all laughing up the front, too.
Yeah.
They would laugh and then just point to potato
Yeah,
cans.
they had oh, dude, should we talk about it the night before when they came over? They came over all fucking drunk.
Well, they kind of wanted to hijack the video idea because they had this. They'd been experimenting with this concept of potato cannon battleships.
Yeah, so they pitched the idea to us the leader of the Kent boys goes, all right, hear me out. 2 tinnies,
A small boat.
2 potato cannons.
Which is a cannon with 5 potatoes. You saw Matt
Yep.
use one.
Yeah. Battleships. And we were like, yeah, it's a great idea. It's really funny. And they go, yeah, no, but listen to me, mate. Listen to me. 2 tinnies, 2 potato cannons. And I counted how many times he said it that night. He was there for like an hour and a half. He said it like 18 times. 2 tinnies, 2 potato cannons.
And he told it to me as well, and I was just like, that is a great idea. We'll do it. We'll bring the potato cannons. And he's like, yep. Hear me out. 2 I'm like, does this guy have dementia?
He's in a K-hole.
He's in a K-hole, yeah.
It's like, we've said yes.
We've said yes, we're doing it.
But he was like, who do I have to talk to? Like, who's the head honcho? Who's like the creative director right now? I'm like, well, Danny and Michael will get here tomorrow, but like our main like kind of like videographer is asleep on the couch. Mitchell is right there, and Mitchell's just there like mouth open, like asleep, just completely dead on the couch. And then one of them goes, "Oh yeah, should we fuck with him while he's sleeping?" And I was like, no, absolutely do not do that.
What would have happened if you said yes?
I hesitated. I was very curious.
Could be interesting.
But I don't know. I was thinking maybe they would have just run at him with marker, or they would have just like
Throw a Tim Tam at him.
yeah, throw a Tim Tam at him.
They're just very good at entertaining themselves. When you live on Kangaroo Island,
Yeah,
you make do.
You
It's
make
just
do.
weird to see how everyone drives here, though. Like, you're so close to death at all times.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, you could just slow
Well,
down.
there's 3 policemen on the island.
Yeah.
And it's
We
like,
met one of them.
Almost threatened one of them.
yeah. Very timid policeman, by the way. It turns out.
Get out of the car.
Get him.
That was when we were chasing leads to find the Yowie. We were in was it Penashaw?
Yeah,
Or
Penshaw.
Kingscote.
Kingscote.
Oh yeah, Kingscote.
We were in the town, and we went to the bait shop to find bait for the Yowie. We were asking them what the best bait is, and then they told us like, oh yeah, just go to the council and ask them if they have any leads. So we
Well,
go to
first
the,
they told us that the best bait is kids.
yeah, the best bait was
Catch
kids.
them.
And then we went to the city council to find a lead. So we walk in and we're talking with like these 2 ladies behind the glass. So yeah, we're here to find a Yowie, all in adventure outfits. And then this guy Nick came with us on the trip, and he goes over. There's this big table with books on it. Like it's just like books that are free to a good home. So they were like free books. And he picks up one book that was face down, looks at it, and goes, "Guys," and he starts laughing. He goes, "I found a great lead." And then he shows us the book. The book's title was Great Lead. And we were just sitting there dying in this fucking council for like a solid 2 minutes.
Perfect coincidence.
Yeah,
we got
we-
really lucky that day. We're just checking out the locals, and they've given us.
Went to the police station. The police station, by the way, closes at noon.
What was it? 9 till 12.
It was 9
Turns
till
out crime
12.
does
The
sleep
police station is open.
most of the day.
So it was past noon. It was shut. But when we got there, like the one of 3 cops on the entire island is pulling out of the police station, and so we flag him down, wave him down. Danny's there, and he's like, hey, sorry to bother you. And then you're like, hey, we're looking for the Yowie. You know anything about it? And the guy's like, nah, mate, I can't help you. And he's smiling, and he's like loving it. And then Danny just deadpan goes, "I'm sick of your fucking lies. I'm sick of your lies." And the guy's like still smiling, but his eyes are like,
He's starting to
Why?
drop.
Yeah, his face is
You
dropped.
can see
Yeah.
his smile slowly turning to
and then
confusion.
Danny goes, you know what? Get out of the car. Get out of your car. And the guy's like, and dude, it was so awkward. And so we start laughing to break the tension, and he's just like, yeah, okay, goodbye. And he leaves.
Poor police officer has just been working overtime. Like, he's supposed to finish at 12. He's leaving at 2. Like,
If only Danny did, get out of the car.
Yeah, he probably would have listened.
I would listen.
Yeah, very funny.
So we interviewed the locals. We got a few leads, and then we had to go and shoot the scene where we kind of finally. Oh well, we made Yowie bait actually first,
Oh,
Yes,
I
we had to
forgot
make-
about
we
that
had to make the
horrendous scene.
You had to make your own bait.
which was pretty like improvised. We still
Yep.
just had a bunch of ingredients in the
Was that
fridge.
improvised?
It's crazy
I wish I
how
was
we
improvised.
improvise but happen to know exactly what you need to catch a Yowie. That's so strange how that works.
It
I
was,
just thought, what would a Yowie like? Raw mints,
Tobacco.
beer, tobacco,
yeah.
Actually, no.
dishwashing liquid. You
Yeah.
know.
You know, when we started rolling, I was expecting like a binging with Babish, like kind of slow paced, like, yeah, this is what we're going to do, and just put a bunch of shit together. As soon as it started, Danny just took over, and it was I couldn't match the energy. I was in shock the entire time. He's trying to open the mints by elbowing it on the counter, and I'm seeing his elbow impact and bend on like the countertop.
Crunching sound.
Just missing all the meat.
This is only 3 seconds into the
It was
start of
3
the
seconds into the start, so I was already like, what the fuck is going on? And I think I did one thing. I think I put barbecue shapes in it, and that was it. It was all my involvement. It was milk. There was mints. There were a lot of eggs.
A lot of eggs.
You took my beer and put it in there?
There were eggs on the ceiling.
That's not fair.
It was everywhere.
Like out of my hand too.
But finally, we had the Yowie bait.
Wait, before that, it's a lot funny with the context that the house was kind of a mess before, like the last night, and like a bunch of people had spent the entire morning cleaning up the
Yeah,
place.
that's right.
They mopped up the place, they swept the place. It looked immaculate, and everyone was like, "Oh, I feel so much less anxious now that it's like nice and clean." And we came in, and after that scene, it was like
It was fucked.
destroyed. And then
I was just throwing eggs like around.
We were filming
Yeah, he was just up.
Because we were filming all day, so we weren't even in the house. We showed up for like 2 minutes to film that scene and then fuck off again.
Yeah.
How well we
Food as well.
no, it was right before we left.
Yeah.
It was right before we left. There was
The vape dealers.
The
came
vape
in.
dealers
Yes.
came.
Yes.
Because it's really hard to get a vape on Kangaroo Island. Some of our crew needed vapes, and so we Ketamine boys were the contact, the in between.
I hooked it
And
up.
then so these 3 guys come up with a bunch of vapes, and they walk in and they see this fucking disgusting
Like a
kitchen,
minced meat on the
this
ceiling.
destroyed like horrible mess. And then Chris is making small talk with him, like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it. We'll clean it up." And this Airbnb was is beautiful. And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I know it's beautiful. I know the owners."
Did he say that?
He said that to Chris, and Chris was like, "Okay, all right, yeah, it'll be."
That's getting back to them. I feel like everyone on Kangaroo Island knows each
They all
other.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like 4,000 people.
Yeah.
We put the Yowie bait in a Tupperware container, and we drove out to this beautiful lagoon,
Yeah.
which was just gorgeous. Like the sun was going down.
It was like a Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
set.
It was like flooded plain land.
Awesome.
And we staged this scene where we're like running through the bushes, and we hear the Yowie's cries, and we laid the trap, and then the Yowie comes out. We won't say who the Yowie is. It's a surprise. The Yowie comes out. We're like, "Oh my god, there he is! It's the Yowie." Gets the bait, and we all rush him. Matt jumps on top of him. We all proceed to run up to him and start beating the shit out of him. Somehow the Yowie, with his extreme strength
And speed.
and speed, throws us off. We all get catapulted into the air. Quite painful.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I think he broke a rib or something.
Yeah, he broke my rib.
And he sort of speeds off into the bushes at the speed of light. And
Yep.
we lost our lead on him.
He managed to get a shot off with the spear gun, though.
Shot him straight in the leg with a spear gun.
Thank God you brought that spear gun.
Yep. Wasn't intending to shoot Yowies, but glad I got to shoot something.
Got him right through the leg.
Pierced his leg.
You hear him cry out, and then
Then he disappears, and then somehow later, when we were just having a relaxing pint at the pub, there he was.
we were downtrodden. We were at the pub just drowning our sorrows.
And that was sad.
We're fucked up. Like, we hunters are we? The day's over. We go home tomorrow. We haven't caught him.
Haven't got me out.
And then what do we see? Banging into the door of the pokies machines. It was the spear gun.
I thought it was a
The door.
hallucination. I did not believe it at all when we saw that.
We open the door, and who turns around with a look of egg on his face? It's the Yowie. The Yowie is so surprised. He's like, "Here I am trying to have a quiet slap after a stressful day in the swamp.
Yep.
Just trying to win at the pokies, and these fucking bastards from earlier come to call me." So we sit him down and we rough him up a bit. Ask him, come on,
Why are
mate.
you a pedophile?
Why are you touching these kids? I heard he's been touching kids. Also, I just realized that we forgot something earlier. There was the cat guy.
Oh,
the cat guy.
The cat guy.
Oh, man.
Should you finish this?
We'll finish this story first, and then we'll get to the cat guy. We rough him up, and the Yowie, actually, we find is quite a well-spoken gentleman.
Great guy.
And actually, it's quite nice. He offers us a round, and we thought, well, he's going to buy some beers. We can give him a chance to explain himself. So we go and get a pint with the Yowie. Turns out he's just the loosest cunt on the island.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun.
We got along so well, so quickly.
We're dancing with all the locals in the pub, too.
That was amazing. The fact that we just thought, oh, this is going to be fucking quiet. And then as soon as we walk into that room to get drinks with the Yowie, they're playing fucking psytrance.
Yeah.
The locals go.
The
We just broke out into dance. I mean, like that's going to look fake in the video, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
literally what happened.
Very authentic.
Very
Impromptu
authentic.
dance
And then the
party.
locals were dancing as well. It was fucking-
Yeah, and then the Yowie did a chug off with one of the locals, and
Yeah.
the Yowie won.
That was
and the
amazing.
Yowie threw up in his Yowie hat.
Yeah.
If the locals didn't know who the Yowie was before, they do now.
They
They know
absolutely
now,
do.
yeah. Word has got around town.
Yowie's been cited the Penny Shaw. What was it? The Penny Shaw Hotel.
The
the
King's
Queen.
Oh, the King's
Queen's Hotel.
Oh yeah, it was the Queen's something. Queenscliff
Hotel in
in
King's Cove.
The
Yeah.
Yowie is now a local legend.
Yeah.
Just absolutely so fun on the piss. Just loves a sesh.
Does anyone believe them that this
But-
happened?
He's not the only legend on Kangaroo Island.
It's true.
There might be a bigger legend.
Barry Green.
The Ketamine Boys informed us that there was this local legend on the island who was famous for hunting feral cats, skinning them, and
Barry Green, bit of a local hunter,
Yeah,
bit of a
local
trapper.
Yeah.
yeah. So we had no idea how to find this guy, but thankfully the Ketamine Boys gave us the street, and we saw
Yeah.
his house, which is very easily identifiable because there's beer cans all over the tree.
So,
out front.
yeah,
And
there's a giant
cat
tree.
skulls.
Yeah, and
cat
a lot of cat skulls. So Barry Green is a conservationist who lives on Kangaroo Island. And a big problem on Kangaroo Island and really across all of the mainland in Australia is a feral cat population.
Yeah.
Feral cats aren't native to Australia. They were introduced. They're not your typical domestic cuddly house cat. They're fucking mean.
They kill
hiss,
birds.
they kill
Kill-
birds, they kill native
They
animals.
killed the animals in my yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're they're out of control and they're a menace to the ecosystem. So,
Yeah.
At a point it became necessary for these people to start trapping cats and then putting them down. And before Barry Green came along, they were just catching these cats, killing them, and just fucking discarding them. Barry Green said, though, we're just wasting good fur, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're just wasting the potential of true art.
Of high-end fashion.
High-end fashion. So Barry dedicated a good portion, I assume, he said like the last 20 years,
Like 25 years.
25 years, to trapping cats, shooting them in the head with 308s, and then skinning them, and making. He made a little beer cozy out of a kitten, which was a sight, and then
Still had the head on top.
Yeah, the head
it
like
still
covers
had the
top
head,
of
and the head,
beer.
the head tops the beer,
Looks like he's like hugging
which
it.
is hilarious.
He had a beautiful vest.
He had
Mr.
Oh,
Burns
yeah,
style.
he had a
The
vest.
vest might have been like 20 cats.
It was
so many cats.
It was
in
like
there.
20 cats to make up that vest.
Two heads on the
It was two heads for the pockets too, with glass eyes in them.
He honestly looks like a goblin chief or something.
Yeah.
He looked
yeah,
like
yeah.
a mountain man, like your
Yeah.
very typical American, like pioneer bush mountain man.
Distinguished leathery face.
Yes.
He had a cat hat, which was pretty lit,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
cat head on the front, the
and he
tail on the back.
had something he called what was it, like the Curiosity Wall?
Oh, yeah.
It was.
He was very secretive about it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a blind in front of
I
him.
think that's
Yes,
because his
it's
wife was disgusted
Yeah.
with these cats.
And it's-
Well, yeah, let's explain how we first interacted with him because we were quite nervous that we were just dropping in on this old man. Who was-
We didn't even call. We didn't
we
call.
didn't
We
call.
didn't write.
We had a van full of people, so me and Alexa sort of broke the ice at first with just and him recording on my iPhone, thinking, "Fuck, I hope he lets us in."
Well, we needed a peace offering, so we parked down the road at the bottle shop, which is literally like, well, it would have been like 300 meters from his
Yeah,
house.
so
Fucking
close.
Bottle shop.
Ordered a
we
slab of beer.
got a slab of beer.
We asked the lady behind the counter, "Do you know Barry the cat?" He goes, "Yeah, he comes in here all the time."
And we asked him, what should we buy him? And she was like, yeah, any of these.
Yeah.
And then what did you buy him? You bought him beer? Like,
Yeah.
What was it? It was,
Right? No.
It was like a draw,
North.
like an
You got
Adelaide
a, yeah, it was like Adelaide Draw or something.
something. I can't remember.
Yeah, Adelaide Draw.
Anyway, it's like a 30 pack of cans, and we go back to Barry. Me and Alexa go up to him, and I'm really nervous actually when I
I
first
was terrified. I thought maybe he doesn't want to be on camera, you know? Like, his passion is killing cats. Like, that doesn't really
Yeah.
extend to film.
But we were like, are we disturbing you? He was like, no, I was just having my afternoon drink. He was already on the piss.
Yeah.
We rocked up outside, and he was outside with a can of beer.
Yeah.
It was cider, though.
A cider, can
We
of
fucked
cider.
up. He
Yeah.
doesn't drink beer anymore for some strange reason. He hasn't
Yeah,
told
he-
us.
We got him. Yeah, we were like, so we bought you this slab of beer, and he was like, oh, why? We were like, oh, well, we just thought we could have a chat with you. We're really interested in what you do here. We think you're a fascinating guy. And I think that kind of melted him a little bit. And then he was like, oh, come on, get me the tour. He's clearly given this tour like 100 times.
His house
He
is set
loved
up
it though.
with-
It was
was
definitely set
very
up,
into it.
and he had the visitor book as well that showed that there were thousands of people passing.
He was on his second book.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people.
Went back and got the rest of the crew, and he gave us the tour of his house. We were just covered in cat remains.
So there's cat skulls, there's cat pelts.
There was a cat clock. There was like a
There's a
cat,
cat
that was like crucified. A little.
Do I remember it wrong? Was the cat's arms actually doing this? Or was
No. The cat's arms were out like that, and then they had the hands on the inside of its belly. But yeah, he had this.
It smelled like cat.
It smelled like, I don't know if
That
that
was
was
weird.
cat or
It was like
piss
ammonia
or-
and vinegar. It was all this stuff he probably uses to tan them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guys were still smelling.
His wife was cooking dinner, and at some points I noticed that she was sort of just peering over the kitchen counter, like, who are these guys? Like, what is their interest?
There was so many of us. We're all dressed real stupid. But also, like, very quickly, I think he started getting a bit nervous because, like, we very obviously weren't hunting cats.
No. We kept bringing up the Yowie, and he wanted nothing to do
Yeah,
with it.
dude, Danny started to bring up like, oh, so you're good at trapping cats, but. And then he has his hand on the wall, and he does this fucking dramatic pause, and he turns over and he goes, but we're looking for something bigger. And then the guy's like, what are you doing? He's like, sir, have you ever heard of the Yowie? And he's just like, bullshit. Like
Yeah.
he's trying to shut it down immediately.
But he was strangely kind of just really dismissive and angry. Like, wasn't like, what do you mean? It was just like, bullshit.
It was almost like he was hiding something.
Yep. And that's what I think Danny thought as well. Danny
Yeah.
felt.
We kept pressing him. We let him do his tour, and genuinely interested in the guy, but we kept trying to get nuggets of information about the Yowie, and he shut it down at every turn.
He did.
He wasn't having a bar of it. He was like, "Oh, come off it.
Yeah.
Don't be silly." And we were like, you clearly have experience trapping creatures. We're wondering if you could help us trap something perhaps a little bit bigger, something 12 foot tall perhaps. And he was like, no, nothing like that, nothing like that.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna case that pig.
Yeah. So he wasn't actually that helpful. He gave us a vague lead as to where to maybe look for such a creature, but he later revealed that he was just fucking with us.
He was.
But he did promise that if we caught the Yowie, he would skin
help
it for
skin
us.
It's true.
Yep.
Turns out the Yowie's just a great guy. We didn't even want to skin him.
No.
No, we
We
liked
really want to
so
skin
much
it. was only after he bought us alcohol.
Yeah. Thank God you only shot him in the leg. That
Yeah.
swamp.
Oh, I feel bad about that.
Yeah. Could have never unlocked the legend of the Yowie.
He's in a wheelchair now, man. Yeah,
He is in a wheelchair.
You told me to shoot him.
He's got crutches.
You were screaming,
I
shoot him.
did scream shoot him.
Scream, shoot him. It's not my fault.
We were all just doing our best. We had the legend misrepresented.
Yeah, we were scared.
We were told that the Yowie was dangerous. We were told he was potentially gay.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I heard he was a pedophile.
Yeah, we heard he was a pedophile. Turns out these were all just nasty rumors.
Except
Slander.
Slander.
Yeah.
Some people just cooking up lies. I don't know why you would do that. It turns out people just don't like people that are different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Yowie, sure, he's a bit different. He's a bit furry. He stinks. Sure, he likes to drink a lot. Like a lot. Sure, maybe he touches a kids affectionately sometimes, but just because he's a 12
In like
furry man doesn't mean
an
he's a
innocent,
pedophile.
in an innocent Joe Biden kind of way.
Yeah.
Whispers in their
Just
ear.
grips and
Smells their
strokes their hair,
He hasn't been properly integrated into society.
No.
So you can't blame
Just
the
like
guy.
Joe Biden.
He's going to be a politician one day, the Yowie. I feel.
It's true.
He's going to be the MP of Kangaroo Island.
Yeah. So anyway, the trip was a success. We got all this filming done. in
So
a day.
much.
And we haven't really seen it, so honestly, we have no idea how this video is going to turn out. I think it's going to be it's going to be a little rough around the edges, I expect. But I'm hoping we can put it together and make a decent. What do you call it? Not a documentary. It's
A mockumentary.
sort of a cinematic
Mockumentary.
masterpiece, I would say.
Mixed with real elements of fucked up local life. Kangaroo Island.
Yeah.
And
Quite a few characters.
who better to share this experience with than our good friends Alex and Mike said.
Thank you.
I do thing, and boy. That was a fascinating guy. We haven't even delved even slightly into all the stories he got to tell, which is a shame.
We'll have to go hunting a Yowie. some
There
other
is
time.
one thing I wanted to ask you, because you brought it up before that you had a near-death experience that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, I was going mountain biking in Tasmania. I already talked about this on the podcast. I front braked going down and just went right over the handlebars, edge of a cliff face, very close to the edge. Got up, fucked up my shoulder, my leg was fucked up. I limp over, and Maria, Manuel's girlfriend, comes by on her bike. She's like, "Oh my God, Swag, are you okay? Is everything okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." She takes the bike, she leans it up against a rock. A big fucking boulder the size of this helmet, fucking rolls off the thing she set the bike on right onto her foot.
Holy fuck.
And we couldn't get a ATV down. None of us had phones. There was no way to get shuttled down. We're on this very thin bike trail, so we had to walk all the way down this bike trail. It took us like an hour.
But your near-death experience is Maria's near-death experience.
My near-death experience was being incredibly close to the edge of a cliff.
It's so overly dramatic. I was halfway down the mountain and loving the mountain biking when I just hear like a and I see birds just.
Yeah, it was fucking awful. What was yours?
Mine was when I was canyoning, which is where it's kind of like in the Blue Mountains in Sydney. There's these kind of like deep kind of ravines that have been carved out by water, and they get really deep, like maybe 50 meters deep, and they're probably like, I don't know, like 4 to 5 meters wide, but just massive drops, and they have water flowing through them. And I'd wanted to do one for a while, which is basically where you start at the top and go all the way down to the bottom and then hike back up. And I have a friend that does it, and we were out drinking the night before, and then we got on drugs, and then we had slept like 2 hours, and I thought, oh no, surely this can't be on.
With drugs?
I think it was Dex, just a lot of Dex.
Isn't that just medicine for you?
Yes, but not when you snort it.
Oh, yeah.
And then so we proceeded to do this canyon, which turns out is 12 hours on a good day with no problems. And I'd never abseiled in conditions like that, which is down like a steep ravine in a waterfall. And we start this canyon, and we get to the first big abseil, which was like a 20 or 30 meter abseil down onto a rock, which is called a chock stone, which is caught in the middle of this ravine. And when you're on this rock, what you have to do is you abseil down onto it, you unclip, and you have to clip onto another rope on the side.
Right, like an anchor.
And as I got down, I got onto it, and I was fucking in the middle of the waterfall. I was cold and numb because I didn't have a proper wetsuit, and I was had 2 hours sleep. And I dropped my device, and I dropped it like 30 meters, and it just disappeared. So then I had to stand on this rock on a waterfall waiting for Matt to fucking, maybe I shouldn't say his name, to abseil down. And then eventually he abseils down. And then when he lands, we hear thunder.
Oh my
and
God.
Like, fuck, we're stuck on this rock. Only one of us has an abseiling device. What do we do? We're both getting number and number. And eventually we decided that, like, we made up a solution, which was that I would abseil down into this water, and at the bottom was a lake, which was like 5 meters deep. So I was floating. And then as I was floating, the rope was still attached to the top. I had to take off this device, attach it to the rope, and Matt would pull it back up for himself. And if at any point it came off, Matt would have just been stuck up there and died. And then there's thunder, and it starts to rain, and we can feel the fucking water getting a bit faster.
Didn't that rock dislodge recently?
No, I don't think that one did.
That was
The
the one.
rock you were standing on, like mossy and slippery due to
Yeah, it was all slippery, it was all cold, we were numb because we had the water's cold, like 8 degrees.
Oh my God.
And it was just like horrendous. And there was so many times where I was just like, yeah, this is how I die. Because I was feeling like hypothermic and numb when I was trying to use the rope. And it was just,
You could have had your own 127 hours to understand.
yeah, I should have just bitten off my arm to make it more interesting. That was it. I think that was probably the closest I've been, because it was like, one wrong move, one slip, you're dead.
So how long in total was the situation sort of unfolding for?
It was dark when we got back. There was one point we got lost as well on the way out. The canyon's called Butterbox for anyone that's
Sounds
Wants to
slippery.
die.
very slippery. And yeah, we just got lost, and then we had to climb out. I think it was dark by the time we got out.
Stressful.
We're all
day.
street, like fucking, shaking. Oh, it's horrible.
Have you been like, canyoning since?
Yeah, like quite a few times. I took my family canyoning.
Didn't deter you at all. You just-
No, I tried to take my mum on like a nice canyon, and I think the canyon was meant to take 6 hours, but again, it took us 12 hours, and my brother and mum were like hypothermic at the end. This one had no abseiling, but still horrible. And then 6 months after that, 3 people died in that canyon. I think there was higher water, and they got swept down just a rock that the water passed underneath and just got trapped and died.
I think it was like a month before we went fucking mountain biking in Tasmania. A couple of people died on the trail too.
Really?
We should try canyoning next.
You should do it. I'll be your guide if you want. I'm great at it.
I would actually do it for sure. I've been
I'll
curious.
pass.
I would.
There are some safe ones to do. Some without high water flow, without.
He says
abseiling.
that, but he always talks it down.
I'm down to
Like,
walk a trail.
Yeah, you can get trails.
I'm not down to abseil down a fucking cliff with cold ass water being poured on
Do you reckon his family agreed to 12 hours walking around? He sold it to them as well as like, oh, it's so nice,
It's
it's
just
easy.
a nice walk.
Well, he
And then-
pitched
and then
it
they
for
got there
6
and-
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 hours. It was meant to be 4 hours.
Oh, it was meant to be 4. It's turned to 12.
It's well.
It's a long day.
It's a very long day.
Did you bring food and like packs and stuff?
We did, but not enough.
So, yeah. I see.
Yeah, fun day.
You're an adventurous fellow. You both are adventurous fellows.
Thanks.
So are you boys. Thank you for inviting us out here to Kangaroo Island, which we're currently on right now.
Currently on
Yeah.
Kangaroo Island.
Yeah.
As you can see.
Yeah.
Water, kangaroo.
Kangaroos Island.
Well, thanks everyone very much for listening. This has been Boy and I Did a Thing.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Do you want to fuck with the kangaroos?
Yeah,
while
let's
they're
go.
sleeping?
Let's just walk up to the